Dr. Malusi Gigaba steps aside from the ANC's duties. This is after having been charged for corruption by the National Prosecuting Authority. He appeared in court for specialized crime this week. So as you know, the ANC has this so-called step-aside rule that those who are charged for corruption, they have to step aside from their ANC's duties. Well, of course, there's contestation around that in terms of certain people are not expected and pressurized to do that, to step aside, especially those who are associated with Cyril Ramaphosa, those who are in the Cyril Ramaphosa's faction. Okay, so also to consider the fact that the NPA is in the pocket of Cyril Ramaphosa, so the charging in terms of who gets to be charged and who does not get to be charged is still in control of Cyril Ramaphosa. So he uses the NPA to deal with those he perceives as detractors and opponents within the African National Congress itself. Okay, so that's what is happening. So once seen, this is Malusi Gigaba, who was once seen as a rising star and the embodiment of a new generation of ANC leadership. Dr. Malusi Gigaba has become the latest senior figure to fall under the shadow of the so-called state capture era. Following a prolonged investigation, the National Prosecuting Authority, the NPA, formally charged the ANC National Executive Committee member and member of parliament with serious corruption. The action triggered the ANC's most controversial and defining internal policy, the step-aside rule or the step-aside resolution, forcing Malusi Gigaba to relinquish his duties and test the party's commitment to accountability. The charges, the heart of the so-called state capture. Malusi Gigaba's court appearance in the Palm Ridge Magistrates Court relates to the Transnet multi-billion locomotive procurement program, a deal valued at approximately 54 billion rands, which the Zondo Commission identified as a crucial mechanism of so-called state capture. The state alleges that the charges stem from a period between 2010 and 2014, when Malusi Gigaba was the Minister of Public Enterprise or Public Enterprises. Specifically, authorities claim that during this tenure, he accepted and received undisclosed amounts of cash from members of the Gupta family, which were alleged to be corrupt in nature and to which he was not entitled. Gigaba was added as the fifth accused alongside former Transnet executives, including Brian Molefe and Siyabonga Gama, confirming the systematic nature of the rot at the state-owned enterprises. The resolution protecting the ANC's integrity, following the formal charging by the National Prosecuting Authority, the ANC's internal policy, reaffirmed by the 55th National Conference, came into immediate effect. This step-aside rule mandates that any member formally charged with corruption or other serious crimes must voluntarily step aside from all party and government leadership responsibilities. ANC's Secretary General, Fikile Mbalula, confirmed that Gigaba had taken the principled and voluntary decision to step aside from his duties as an NEC member and member of parliament, specifically his role as co-chair of the Joint Standing Committee on Defense. The ANC welcomed the move, stating it reflects the discipline and maturity expected of cadres of our movement. That's according to Mbalula, and strengthens the party's ongoing renewal agenda. The party insists the rule is not a presumption of guilt, but a necessary organizational measure to safeguard public trust while the legal process runs its course. What is the political significance of this step aside test? Malus Gigaba's compliance is politically significant. Historically, the step aside rule has been highly divisive, often exposing the deep factional fault lines within the party. By stepping aside, Gigaba, a known former proponent of the so-called state capture linked faction, has removed a point of internal conflict and demonstrated a level of compliance that strengthens President Ramaphosa's so-called anti-corruption stance and the party's ability to enforce its own policies. The focus now shifts fully to the National Prosecuting Authority, which must prove its readiness to successfully prosecute one of the highest profile political figures implicated in the so-called state capture. This point is very key because we've got an Esma Khashule who was forced to step aside as the NC Secretary General on the basis of being charged by the NPA. But as we speak today, the NPA keeps going to the courts requesting postponement, saying that they are not ready for the case. Yet they charged Esma Khashule for corruption, which then triggered the ANC's step aside rule. This therefore strengthens the argument that the NPA in its current form is a tool, a political tool at the hands of Cyril Ramaphosa to fight his detractors and opponents within the ANC. Therefore, it means the NPA is part of what can be termed as the abuse of power by those who are in power to fight their narrow, selfish political battles using state apparatus. That's where the NPA finds itself. Thank you guys for tuning in. My name is Tebos Kosana. The name of the platform is Izwi Labantundu, the voice for Africans. Thank you very much for tuning in. Kamakuma Africa.